Yeah, moving on. I can also see from your profile that you have worked at U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, and you have also mentioned that you use some causal methods to infer causal effects there. Can you explain more about this?
Yeah, so it's what I just talked about was about the impact of regulation. So, for
Hmm.
example, you announce this thing to the market, and you increase, let's say, the frequency of your announcements to the market. The question is like, what is the impact of that, right? So, if you do it twice a month versus once a month, you can measure some sort of diff. And if you had in the pre-period also measured this in the middle of the month, this is the difference between your actual and your placebo. You have your two actuals afterwards. You can use pretty much a different diff there, right? I've also done things like discontinuity design, right? So we can look at, okay, if there's a regulation which requires someone to I don't know, disclose things or take some sort of action based on some threshold, let's say 10%, right? You can look at, okay, what happens to people or positions which are either side of that threshold, like, I don't know, 9%, 9.9% to 10.1%, right? Because economically, they might be very similar, but one is subject to a regulation and the others aren't, right? So you can look at some sort of measure of actual, let's say, somewhat localized treatment effect based around that threshold.
Hmm.
So stuff like this.